everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, the place where we help you improve your English step by step. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Julia.
Hey Jason! Hey everyone! We're so excited about today's episode because we're going to talk about something that so many English learners struggle with: understanding fast English.
That's right. Have you ever been watching a movie or listening to native speakers and it just sounds like a blur of words? You catch a few words, but most of it goes right over your head?
Exactly. And then you think, oh no, my English isn't good enough. But here's the truth, it's not your fault. English sounds fast because of the way native speakers connect words, reduce sounds, and speak naturally.
Yes. So today, we're going to break it all down for you. We'll explain why fast English is hard to understand, how native speakers actually talk, and most importantly, strategies to improve your listening skills.
By the end of this episode, you'll feel more confident and ready to understand English speakers, even when they talk fast. So, get ready to take some notes and learn with us.
And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. Also, stay until the end because we'll give you some practical exercises you can do every day to train your ears for fast English.
All right, Jason, let's get started. First, let's talk about why English sounds so fast to learners.
All right, now let's dive into our first big question: why does English sound so fast to learners?
Yes, many learners feel like native speakers talk at lightning speed, but actually, English isn't necessarily faster than other languages. It just sounds that way because of the way we connect words, reduce sounds, and stress certain syllables.
Exactly. Let's break it down. The first reason English sounds fast is connected speech. This means native speakers link words together instead of pronouncing them separately.
For example, let's take the phrase, "What are you doing?" A learner might expect to hear each word clearly, "What are you doing?" But a native speaker says it much faster, like, "What you doing?"
That's a great example. And here's another one. Instead of saying, "Did you eat?" we often say, "Did ya eat?"
Yes. So if you're expecting to hear every single word clearly, it can be really confusing when native speakers blend words together.
Right. The second reason is word reductions. Native speakers shorten words in casual speech. For example, going to, gonna, I'm gonna call you. Want to, wanna, do you wanna go? Got to, gotta, I gotta go now.
And let's not forget contractions. Instead of I am, we say I'm. Instead of he will, we say he'll. If you're not used to hearing these shortened forms, it can feel like words are disappearing.
That's so true. And the third reason fast English is hard to understand is unstressed words. English speakers don't pronounce every word with equal weight. Some words are stressed, and others are weaker and faster.
Exactly. Take the sentence, "I went to the store." A learner might expect to hear every word clearly, "I went to the store."
But in real speech, we say, I went to the store. The words to and the become so weak that they almost disappear.
So if you're struggling to understand fast English, it's not because your English is bad. It's because native speakers don't speak the way textbooks teach.
That's right. But don't worry. We're going to teach you some great strategies to train your ears and start understanding fast English more easily.
Yes. Coming up next, we'll talk about the common features of fast English and how you can recognize them.
Now that we know why English sounds fast, let's break it down even further. What exactly makes native English speech sound so different from textbook English?
Great question, Jason. There are 3 major features of fast English that every learner needs to understand. 1. Linking sounds. 2. Word reductions. 3. Dropped sounds.
Let's start with linking sounds. In English, words don't always stand alone, they connect to the words next to them.
Right. A great example is turn it off. A learner might expect to hear each word clearly, turn it off. But in real speech, it sounds like turn it off. The words blend together.
Yes, and here's another one, I need a nap. It often sounds like I need a nap. The words need and a connect so smoothly that the D sound blends in.
That's a great example, and that brings us to the second feature, word reductions. Native speakers shorten common phrases all the time.
Yes, instead of I am going to, we say I'm gonna. Instead of do you want to, we say do you wanna?
And instead of what are you doing, we often say what you doing. These reductions make speech faster and smoother, but they can be really confusing if you're not used to them.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our third feature, dropped sounds. In casual speech, we don't pronounce every single letter. Some sounds just disappear.
Yes, a great example is internet. We don't usually say internet. Instead, we say in-er-net. The T sound gets softer or disappears.
That's so true. And here's another one I don't know. Instead of pronouncing every letter, many native speakers say, I don't know. The T sound is dropped completely.
Right. These dropped sounds happen a lot in fast speech, which is why learners often feel like they're missing words, even though they're actually just hearing natural English.
Exactly. So, if you've ever thought, why do I understand English in textbooks, but not in real life? Now you know the answer. It's because of linking, reductions, and dropped sounds.
And don't worry, coming up next, we'll share powerful strategies to train your ears so you can start understanding fast English much more easily.
All right. Now that we understand why fast English is hard to catch and the common features of fast speech, it's time for the most important part, how to train your ears to understand fast English better.
Yes. If you've ever felt frustrated because you can't catch every word in a conversation, don't worry. We have some powerful strategies that will help you improve your listening skills.
Absolutely. Let's go step by step. Strategy 1, train with slow, then fast speech.
Yes, start by listening to clear, slower English, and then gradually increase the speed. For example, if you're listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video, first play it at 0.75x speed. Then, after you understand it, listen again at normal speed.
That's a great way to train your ears to recognize fast speech. And here's another trick. Many platforms like YouTube and Netflix allow you to slow down or speed up audio.
Exactly. All right, here's strategy 2. Listen and read at the same time.
This is so important. When you listen with subtitles or transcripts, your brain connects what you hear with what you see. It helps you recognize linking, reductions, and dropped sounds in real speech.
Yes, you can do this with podcasts, audiobooks, or even TV shows. First, listen with subtitles, then try listening without subtitles to test yourself.
Love that. Okay, moving on to Strategy 3 shadowing. This is one of the best techniques to improve both listening and speaking.
Oh yes, shadowing means listening to a short sentence and repeating it immediately, almost like you're an echo.
For example, if you hear, "What do you want to do?" Don't pause. Just repeat it immediately in the same speed and rhythm. What do you want to do?
Yes, this helps your ears get used to fast, natural speech, and at the same time, it improves your pronunciation.
Great tip! Now let's talk about Strategy 4, focus on keywords, not every word.
This is so important. Many learners try to understand every single word, but native speakers don't always pronounce every word clearly. Instead, focus on the main words in a sentence.
Right. If someone says, "Do you want to grab some coffee later?" don't try to hear every single sound, just focus on the important words, "want a coffee later." That's enough to understand the meaning.
Exactly. And our last tip, strategy 5, listen every day, even for 5 minutes.
Yes, the more you listen, the easier it gets. Even if you're busy, try to listen to 5 minutes of English every day, whether it's a podcast, a YouTube video, or even an English song.
That's right. Consistency is key. Over time, your ears will naturally adjust and fast English won't seem so difficult anymore.
Exactly. So, let's quickly review. Start with slow, then fast speech. Listen and read at the same time. Use shadowing to train your ears and mouth. Focus on keywords, not every word. Listen every day, even for 5 minutes.
Great summary, Jason. And coming up next, we'll give you some fun exercises you can do right now to practice these strategies.
All right. Now that we've shared some powerful strategies, let's talk about how to practice with real conversations. Because at the end of the day, the best way to understand fast English is to listen to real people speaking naturally.
Exactly. When you practice with real conversations, you get used to the way native speakers talk, the speed, the linking sounds, and the natural flow of speech.
That's right. So, here are 3 practical ways you can train your ears with real conversations.
Let's start with Method 1. Watch TV shows, movies, or YouTube videos with real dialogue.
Yes, shows like Friends, The Office, or Modern Family have natural, everyday English conversations. And if you're watching on YouTube, look for real-life interviews, vlogs, or casual discussions.
That's a great tip. And don't forget, start with subtitles, then turn them off once you feel comfortable.
Absolutely. Now, here's method 2. Listen to podcasts with real conversations.
Oh, yes. Many podcasts like this one are unscripted and natural. That means you'll hear real spoken English, just like how people talk in daily life.
Exactly. And a great way to practice is to pause after a sentence and repeat what you hear. Try to mimic the speaker's speed and pronunciation.
Yes, that's called active listening. Instead of just hearing English, you're engaging with it, which makes a huge difference.
Now, let's move on to method 3, have conversations with real people.
Yes, if you have an English-speaking friend, practice casual conversations with them. If not, you can join online language exchange programs or even talk to yourself.
Talking to yourself is a great trick. You can pretend you're in a conversation and try to respond as fast as possible, just like in real life.
That's such a smart way to improve. All right, let's quickly review. Watch TV shows and videos with real conversations. Listen to podcasts with natural speech practice, speaking with real people, or even yourself.
Exactly. And coming up next, we'll share some common mistakes learners make when listening to fast English, and how to fix them. Stay with us. Now, here's a big mindset shift that will change the way you understand English. Stop translating everything in your head.
Yes, many English learners try to listen, translate into their native language, and then understand. But this slows you down and makes it harder to follow fast conversations.
Exactly. Native speakers don't wait for you to translate. English moves fast, and if you try to translate every word, you'll fall behind in the conversation.
That's right. Instead, you need to start thinking in English.
So how do you do that? One great way is to train your brain to recognize phrases, not individual words.
Yes. For example, instead of hearing "what do you want to do" and translating each word, just recognize it as one phrase, "what do you want to do?"
That's a game changer. And another trick, when you listen to English, focus on understanding the meaning, not every word.
Yes. If you catch the main idea, you don't need to understand 100% of the words. Native speakers also don't hear every single word clearly, but they understand the message.
Exactly. So, let's summarize. Stop translating word by word. Think in English by recognizing whole phrases. Focus on the main idea, not every single word.
If you practice this daily, you'll notice a huge improvement in how fast you understand English.
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to build confidence in understanding fast English. Stay tuned. Now, let's wrap up with some quick and powerful exercises you can do every day to improve your ability to understand fast English.
Yes, these exercises will help train your ears, improve your listening speed, and boost your confidence.
All right, here's exercise 1, the 1-minute listening challenge.
Find a short 1-minute audio clip from a podcast, YouTube video, or a movie scene. First, listen without subtitles and try to catch as much as you can. Then, listen again with subtitles to check your understanding. Finally, listen a third time without subtitles to test yourself.
That's a great daily exercise. Now, exercise 2, shadowing practice.
Yes, listen to a sentence and repeat it immediately, just like an echo. Try to copy the speed, pronunciation, and rhythm of the speaker.
Perfect. And finally, exercise 3, listen and summarize.
After listening to a short conversation or podcast, try to summarize the main points in English. This helps your brain focus on meaning instead of individual words.
Amazing. Let's review 1-minute listening challenge, shadowing practice, listen, and summarize.
If you do these exercises daily, you'll start understanding fast English much more easily.
That's right. And now, let's move on to our final thoughts and a challenge for you to try. Stay with us. Wow, we've covered a lot in this episode. From why fast English is hard to understand to practical exercises that will train your ears, these strategies can truly help you improve.
Yes, and the key takeaway is this: don't get frustrated if you don't understand everything right away. Listening to fast English is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time and practice.
That's so true. So here's a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, try one of the exercises we talked about today. Maybe do the 1-minute listening challenge, try some shadowing, or practice thinking in English instead of translating.
Yes, pick one, do it daily, and let us know how it goes. You can share your experience in the comments or even send us a message.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other English learners.
Also, check out our other podcast episodes for more tips on speaking and understanding English naturally.
That's it for today. Keep practicing, keep listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care and happy learning.